I can't lie, Michael. I'm still processing that Russell Wilson is the Denver Broncos. Like it's still mind blowing. And you know who I can't? Hey, we love Dr. Jason Johnson. Can't wait to talk to him tomorrow, among others. We'll see who else joins the show tomorrow. But
he's a Broncos
fan so much that's going to come out in the wash here. For one, here's another story, because you know the inside story always fascinates me, how these things go down. So the Commanders reportedly offered, this according to Florio, offered high picks in the next 3 drafts for Russell Wilson. According to multiple reports, as a matter of fact, I beg your pardon. High picks in the 2022, 23, and 24 drafts, whatever high picks means, because presumably if he goes there, they're going to be lower whatever round you give it to him, first or second. Those same reports also note Washington got the indication that Seattle preferred to deal Wilson out of the NFC.
Of course.
And the no trade clause, of course, means that the quarterback could choose where he wanted to go. So that's what I'm saying about, like, it's easy to look at the Broncos offer and be like, oh, they didn't get enough for him, or they lost that trade. He got a chance to dictate where he wanted to go. We saw it pre-sexual assault allegations. Let me emphasize that. Pre-allegations with Deshaun Watson, where the Texans couldn't just deal in wherever they wanted to go because of that no trade clause. Huge cap hit,
you know what's
by the
so
way,
interesting,
just
man?
Housekeeping.
Yeah.
Second biggest cap hit to Carson Wentz. Right? Exactly. Go ahead, Michael. Yep. Exactly.
No, I was gonna
Second biggest cap hit to Carson Wentz last year.
Yeah, they have some dead money on the cap, but
no, it's 37 million. 37 million. He was to count. They save 11 million. 26 million in dead money. Second most a team has ever incurred behind Carson Wentz, which goes to show you that Seattle was hell-bent on trading him as much as he was hell-bent on getting out of there. But you had a thought. Go ahead.
But I was going to say what's tripped out is, they wanted to trade him to the AFC, which is good business. I don't want to see Russell Wilson coming back to, win the conference title, win the George Halas Trophy in the same conference. He's supposed to be in Seattle. Get him out of the NFC. We don't want to think about him. But they will be thinking about him this year, because you know who the Broncos visit in the 2022 season? They make a trip to Seattle. So Seattle, you will be able to say goodbye to Russell Wilson in the 2022 season, because the Broncos play the Seahawks. And I'm sure it'll be great. Hey, listen. Hey, not that I'm trying to program here. Sunday Night Football, highly rated. Do really well without me. But Sunday Night Football, I'm telling you, I want a Sunday Night Football game in Seattle, Broncos, Seahawks.
Sure, the schedule makers will hook you up or hook us up.
Let's go.
Speaking of hookups, also, listen, Denver, and they may not be done. Okay, so you give up your first 2 picks in the draft in order to get your quarterback situation settled. They gave up Noah Fant, promising young tight end. Albert O is pretty good as a second young tight end that they had. We talked about Javonte Williams earlier. They kept all those receivers. They got Judy, Patrick, Sutton, Hamler. They got an offensive line. They got a defense that could get better. Did you see yesterday the way Von Miller was kind of teasing that he might go back to Denver? See, the one that they gave him my old locker, he was kind of messing around on IG about that possibility. They can still add impact players with the rest of their draft. Russell Wilson, they had a bunch of cap room before they got Russell Wilson, I believe. So plenty enough to absorb Russell Wilson's contract.
41 million.
Now they're more of a free agent destination than they were before.
Yes.
Now that you have a Russell Wilson. So, I mean, Denver, we're looking at how tough the AFC West is. Much as the Chiefs have ruled that division, as much as the Chargers have promised with Justin Herbert, and the Raiders, of course, made the playoffs, this is a bad day for the rest of the AFC West. We know about the Bengals and Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. We'll see what Pittsburgh does to fill that hole. Cleveland's got a bunch of talent. Does Baker Mayfield bounce back? In the AFC East, Mac Jones, Josh Allen. In the AFC South, it's probably the weakest, relatively speaking, division, because at least two teams, have quarterback questions in Indianapolis and Houston. But Tannehill's still solid enough to keep getting you to the playoffs. We'll see what Jacksonville is able to do to build around Trevor Lawrence. I mean, what an incredible conference when it comes to quarterbacks. Other thing I want to touch on real quick is you talked about, the temporary status as highest paid quarterback for Aaron Rodgers. The other guy that's up for an extension right now in the NFC West is Matthew Stafford. And even Odell Beckham was showing him love on Twitter, talking about, He's different. He's the real deal. F what you heard, right? Stafford reportedly is in line for a $45 million a year type contract. So again, I have to imagine that Team Rodgers in negotiating this gave themselves enough wiggle room to, as the two-time MVP, to keep that title for a little while at least of highest paid quarterback, because $45 million is still $5 million short of where Aaron Rodgers reportedly is. Now, it's matching Patrick Mahomes at $45 million, but even Russell Wilson, does he end up getting more than 50? That'll be interesting. But you're right. Part of that trade and agreeing to go there is, hey, if I come here, you're going to break me off and give me a market contract.
Yeah.
You're going to hook it up.
That's right.
Yes.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. I said earlier, Aaron Rodgers can be exhausting. So he put out that tweet. Hey, I'm glad to be back in Green Bay. Happy to be back. But what you heard is not true. So what's true? Is it a bigger contract? Does he want us to know that the money
is the deal not done
as it is? Is the deal right?
Is there still I's to be dotted and T's to be crossed?
I supposedly signed. He's suggesting that he didn't sign it. So is it a record contract or not? Is it even bigger? Is it
again? I think it's semantics. He probably just mad because McAfee didn't get it. He didn't say it. McAfee didn't get it. This is his Tom Brady. I'm gonna break it on my own terms, and this ain't the way I wanted this to get out.
Except, hold on. Hey, shout out though, Aaron. Aaron, you're thinking the right way, bruh. If you got a media, if you got a platform, use your platform to break news.
Right. McAfee got that he was coming back.
I don't know.
McAfee had that he was coming back. He didn't have the terms. Rodgers wants the terms on his terms. He wants it out there on his terms.
If it had been Tom Brady would be like, oh, I don't know, man. And then the next day, the trade is announced. On the Tom Brady podcast, didn't give us any news. At least Aaron Rodgers' platform gives us news.
There's one other quarterback that we haven't touched on, but before we get to that last quarterback, with the little bit of time we have left, how comfortable are you when I say Matthew Stafford, $45 million? How comfortable a year? How comfortable are you with that?
Great. Good.
Okay, good. Good.
Get all the money you can. Get it. Yes.
Okay.
Everybody.
No. I didn't mean just like good for you. Get paid.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Matthew, because we had this conversation. I mean, you're a bit of you're an evolved. You've repented from your Matthew Stafford hater. No, you're not a hater anymore. But are you still skeptical about whether Matthew Stafford belongs in that pantheon of highest paid quarterbacks after leading the Rams?
Different. It's two different conversations. Is he a top 5 quarterback?
That's why I asked it.
No, he's not. He's not a top 5 quarterback. Should he get top money? Yes, because that's just the atmosphere we're in now. Mike, I was just looking at this, and I see you had it in your feed where the salary cap spikes again. It just blows my mind in a good way. See, in a good way, people, that the franchise number for a quarterback is $29 million. So if you just want to put a tag on your quarterback, whether your quarterback is Kirk Cousins, whether your quarterback is Derek Carr, or one of the elite ones, and you wouldn't tag an elite one, you'd come to a deal. That's at least $29 million. So $30 million, that doesn't mean much to me. $40 million, that doesn't mean much to me, because that's the stratosphere you got to be comfortable with. That's what you got to be ready to do. Especially
when you traded for him, traded 2 picks, your former quarterback, and a third, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in order to get him, and you got the Super Bowl that you coveted.
Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.